spark inside, a passion so true. Marlene motivates, it's the right move for you. Her purpose is clear, her heart's a guiding light to help you reach higher ground, so everything is bright. It's encouragement, support from her soul to yours, for the wellness of mind, body and spirit, so you can open new doors through pop-up lives and motivational roles too. Regular videos, Marlene is always there for you. Feeling down, feeling lost, need a helping hand, Marlene is here to inspire across the digital land, sharing her journey, her wisdom, her grace, helping you find your own pace and true place. It's encouragement, support from her soul to yours, for the wellness of mind, body and spirit, so you can open new doors through pop-up lives and all of these and all right too. Regular videos, Marlene is always there for you. Be encouraged, let your spirit ignite. Be inspired, step into your light. Be yourself, you will survive. Just know it is, breathe it and live your best life. My body and spirit, every day. Left or right, regular video, Marlene is always there for you. Marlene motivates, yeah, mind, body, spirit, every day.
Hello to the Motivators family. I am Marlene Motivates. I am your life coach for all of the positive, informational, and motivational topics. So today is Friday. So, of course, it's time for another episode of the Financial Podcast. And we have my wonderful co host, Lisa J. Stocks. Welcome to the show. And Lisa, tell them about your channel.
Well, just like it says in my names, primarily what we talk about over there is related to the stock market, but we also touch on budgeting, credit, all things money related. And one of the favorite topics around my channel is ETFs and mutual funds. And I really have taken it as a part of my mission to share about certain aspects of finance, especially planning for retirement.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And today's topic is the 2026 money reset. Yes, I don't know about you guys, but I am in need of a reset. So I thought this was the perfect opportunity to use the financial podcast as a catalyst for this topic. So we're talking about 5 financial trends that could shape your wealth for the next decade. So think about the next 10 years and how we can elevate, escalate, grow, and tighten up where we need to so that we can be better in the next 10 years, whatever is your next goal. Lisa, any beginning thoughts?
I think it's great to always have that mindset of it's okay to reset. It's okay to evaluate and, don't be stuck. Take the time to evaluate what's going on in your finances. Put work into it. Don't see something that is lagging or needs attention and let the whole year pass or multiple years pass and you're not addressing it. So it's always good to take the time to reset, no matter what time of year it is. And so it's good to have those reminders, and you have to take time to focus on you.
Exactly. Exactly, Lisa. So, welcome everybody to the show today. Oh, I'm starting to hear feedback, Lisa.
I'm muting.
Okay, thank you. So welcome to the show, everyone, and I'm so glad that you all are here. Today, we're talking about something bigger than stocks, bigger than interest rates, and even bigger than the economy this year. We're talking about the financial trends that could shape your wealth over the next decade. Every few years, the financial landscape changes in ways that permanently alters how people earn, save, invest, and build wealth. The people who recognize these shifts early on, these are the ones that often put themselves in a much stronger position than those who react after the fact. And today's episode isn't about predicting the future with certainty, because no one can do that. Instead, it's about identifying the major trends and that are already unfolding and discussing practical ways that we can prepare. And I hope that this episode is going to get your wheels turning into thinking about what ways can I reset, what can I shift, because it's about making money for our future. Okay. So, like I said, we're talking about the trends that could shape your wealth for the next decade. Let's get into the trends. See, we're going to talk about five major trends. And I'm going to do a preview and then we're going to go through them one by one. The first trend is going to be AI, artificial intelligence, and the changing job market, the future interest rates and debt. Number three is real estate's next chapter. Number four is investing in a rapidly changing market. And number five is building multiple streams of income for long term resilience. Okay. Anything you want to say before we get started, Lisa?
No, let's jump in.
Okay, so trend one. Trend one, we're talking about AI and how artificial intelligence is changing how money is made. Okay. So, artificial intelligence is no longer just a technology story, it's becoming a financial story where businesses are using AI to automate repetitive work, improve customer service, analyze data, and speed up decision making. But the thing about it is, I understand that when something is new, a new technology, it may ruffle some feathers. Some people think that AI is not something important, but this most definitely is a trend that could help shape your wealth in the next decade. And I'm going to talk about one of those things because AI is really building, it's used to build these smart software apps, automate business workflows, and scale content creation. So instead of using AI just as a search engine, we have to treat it like a digital workforce that helps us to handle tasks like research and coding and marketing so that we don't work as hard. Let that AI help you to make money, to scale your business, and to make some better decisions for you financially. It's about using what you have, use that technology to benefit your business and to help you to make some money. Lisa, do you have any initial thoughts, or do you want me to continue?
No, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. We shouldn't fight it. We cannot. There are certain battles that we're not going to win, and the world is changing, and we have to be willing to change with it. before we're left behind, with our mindset of being set in our ways. And we need to understand what the trends are and use them to our benefit instead of trying to fight against it.
Exactly. Using this AI, and it's very beneficial. So I understand that it's kind of scary to learn some new things, but learn the technology so that it can benefit you. So for listeners, the key question is, will AI replace everyone? A more useful question is, how can I use AI to become more productive and valuable for my business? And if you're a business owner, AI can help streamline administrative work, marketing, customer support, and content creation. And if you're an employee, you can use that AI as a tool to increase your productivity, and to make you more competitive. And also, from an investing perspective, many companies are racing to develop AI products, infrastructure, and services. So, while AI has created excitement in financial markets, it's also important to remember that enthusiasm doesn't guarantee strong long-term returns for every company. It's about diversification and discipline investing remaining as something that's very important.
Yeah, everything that you're saying, I agree with. And it doesn't matter what type of business that you're in. We have to take advantage. If you have a restaurant, whatever it is, clothing store, restaurant, if you're on social media like us and you have a YouTube channel, we can go to other platforms and share. If you want to give people the opportunity to be able to find your business, to find your channel, even if it is on another platform. And so with that, we have to be willing. If there's a restaurant that just opened in my town, they better have a YouTube channel. They better have, not maybe not a YouTube channel, but they at least better be on Instagram, on TikTok, and have themselves ready for people to be able to tag and say, I ate here, check out this place, it was great. And so with that, you have to know how to navigate these different things. You have to know how to post, you have to know how to share and react and chat with people and build a network there. And all these changes with AI, like we're seeing jobs eliminated by the tens of thousands at some companies. We've seen small changes that have been impacting us, like the registers at the supermarket. But this has been going on, and every era had different ways of how these things changed, how we were going to move forward. Back to when they first invented the car. I was watching 1923. It's a Western set in Montana. And at that time, a lot of those rural properties didn't have electricity. And they were like, you want us to pay you for electricity, and then you want us to bring in a refrigerator that we're going to have to plug in and pay continue to pay you forever and ever on all of these different things. But nowadays, we can't imagine a home without electricity, without all of these appliances, without a washing machine, without all of those things. But in the show, they were actually pushing back on it. If we're old enough, we can remember people having the job of someone running the elevator. Like, there's certain things that have evolved, and those are not jobs anymore. And now it's continuing. And so we have to be ready. The world evolves, the world changes. I know I'm giving some real old fashioned examples here, but in our day and age, it's AI, like Marlene is sharing with us. And so we have to be ready to use it as a tool and not be threatened by it. As far as our investments, we need to focus on investing into those companies that are on track to capture this AI revolution in order to make ourselves money, in order to get ourselves on a good financial track, because we see what's happening here. We see what's happening here. I hope I'm on track with the way the theme of how you wanted to go about this point, Marlene.
Oh, yeah, you're most definitely on track, Lisa. And I'm so glad that you brought that up because, the most important lesson, the takeaway from this trend one is that technology has always rewarded people who adapt. And I know for me, like as I'm getting older and I want to make sure that I'm finding out what's going on. It's not staying in the comfort zone is not going to make you more money. And that's what we want. I know that's what I want. I want for my money to grow. I want to find out how I can learn things and in an easier way, a more cost efficient. So that's what AI can do for us. So don't fear the change, learn it, and use it for your benefit.
And as far as investing, which is, what I'm all about, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it was like to go and want to buy some Apple stock back in the 80s. I know what it is today, and it is so easy. And all of these, there is so much automation built in for us in order to make our deposits, make our investments, even potentially cut a position out of our portfolio if it's dropping, if it's not the right fit for us any longer. So there's low fees. There's no you have to go somewhere and pay a broker $100 and all these different things. And so just like AI might be coming for your job or some of even if it's not your main job, some of your multiple other streams of income that you might have. I hope it's not your main position, but we have to be ready for it. We have to be ready for changes when it comes to our income and our potential employment. And so I say all that to say that investing is important. Don't be intimidated by it. If there's any way that I can ever support you on, navigating your investments, realize that it is 2026 and there's a lot of aspects about investing that are easier than ever because there's improvements and things have been changing for the better as far as the fees and the accessibility. I do most of everything that I do right off of my telephone. So don't let the opportunity pass you by because we need to have these things available to us in order to make sure that our money is making more money and we're making strides to have a secure future.
See, and I'm so glad you brought that up, Lisa, because that's honestly what this is about. It's there's no judgment here, but it's about accountability. Are we using the tools, the trends? Are we gaining knowledge, or are we staying stuck in our ways? And learning to grow, learning to use these trends, learning to use these tools and these apps so that we can benefit financially. Okay. Let's get into. Let me greet everybody in the chat. Hey, Rod. Hey, Sirius, Realist, and Daryl. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I'm going to go into my point number two. Point number two is trend number two. We're talking about interest rates still matter. It may not sound like it. It may sound like something old fashioned, but it's not true. In the next 10 years, it's projected that interest rates are still going to be important. It's not something that's going to go away. We're very interested in the interest rates. So, for many years, people have become accustomed to a very low borrowing costs. Higher interest rates have changed that picture, and it's affecting everything from mortgages and car loans to business and financial and savings accounts. It's affecting everything. So interest rates still matter. So whether rates are moving higher, lower, or staying relatively stable in the coming years, one principle remains true: the cost of borrowing matters. If you carry high interest debt, paying it down can provide a meaningful financial benefit because it reduces future interest costs. Okay. Lisa, your first thoughts on this topic?
I've been there. I don't want to be back in any debt ever again. And I hear you. I mean, I do have I do have a fixed rate credit card, not carrying any balance on it, but I have a fixed rate credit card at 9.9%, I believe. But a lot of the variable ones significantly higher. My store cards, Macy's, for example, I believe is about 35%. So, we have to have our eyes open to this. And I've been there. I've had those days, when I was younger that uh, you fall into that place where you're reliant on the credit cards for groceries and gas, some of those basic necessities. I've definitely been there, but I'm just saying, just giving encouragement, like Marlene is saying, you got to do your best to get yourself into the place where you clear up that credit card debt, because it's going to be a constant battle with this high interest rates. As far as it related to properties and things like that, I wish I was able to buy another rental property. It's been a couple of years since I've been able to, because of those high rates, lack of inventory, high prices. But I'm just sharing because I want you to know that I'm going through it too. And my budget is drastically different than it was a few years ago. But that's why I'm glad that I was already striving to live below my means and keep expenses low, because the increased costs when it comes to groceries and car insurance and medical costs have eaten away at most of my buffer, but thankfully I'm still able to not have to carry debt.
Yeah, that's the hardest part in this economy with the way things are. Many are suffering with the heavy load of debt. And one of the best things you can do is, if you cannot eliminate it, try to pay it down as much as you can. And especially if you're planning a major purchase, understanding how finances affects the total cost can help you to make better decisions. And for those who are savers, interest rates also influences the returns on cash savings and certain fixed income investments, like Lisa was talking about, real estate, which we're going to tap into in a little bit. But rather than trying to predict every move by policymakers or markets, we have to focus on what we can control. And I've said this so many times, and so has Lisa, and I think Rod has as well, and Daryl. We all talk about that in the financial umbrella. It's so important to focus on the things that you can control, like building an emergency fund, avoiding unnecessary debt, borrow thoughtfully, because those habits can be valuable in almost any rate environment. It's important for you to really think before you spend, and making sure that you are maximizing your money by choosing the right sort of accounts that's going to build your money and grow it.
And sometimes it's time to take a step back and downgrade. You've been having fun, you've been traveling, you've been running up these credit cards, and so now how are you going to get yourself out of debt? Maybe it's time to uh, live with a family member, have a roommate, uh, find a lower price apartment if you're renting, cut some of those subscriptions and the gym memberships and things like that. Start shopping at Aldi or Walmart or some lower cost places. Meal prep. make some steps there. And I know you if you've gotten to where you're at from being, doing things in the other direction by splurging, by having the Uber Eats and DoorDash and all those different things. Just take some time to start going in the other direction to make a better financial future for yourself. Because you're never yeah, it's a way to give yourself that step to try to get on track and get out of where you're at. However you got there, once you know better, that's all you can do is do better. And those are just some suggestions that I'm throwing out there to get things turned around for you. I've been there in debt, and you know thankfully I was able to do those balance transfers and just take every step that I could in order to, in time, get that debt cleared up. And it took me a while. It took me a while, but it's a good feeling now to be debt free, have that credit available to me, but overall be debt free as I use my cards, I pay them, and have cash on hands in my emergency account in order to pay those credit cards when I have to take those more substantial hits. I actually did some car repairs last Tuesday. And so, yeah, those credit cards are up again, but they will be cleared up before the due date.
Yeah, it's all about knowing where you're at, knowing your financial situation, because, like I say all the time, motivators, hiding from it, ignoring your problems. If you know that debt is your problem, if you know that overspending, if you know that you're not investing enough, you have to be open and honest with yourself, make plans, and start where you are. You don't think about, oh, I want to have whatever, how much millions of dollars in your account. But first, you have to start where you are. You have to learn how to trust yourself financially, trust yourself with money, get into your planning, do everything that you're not doing step by step. And like Lisa said, it's not going to be an overnight thing, especially when it comes to debt. It took you a little bit to get into the debt, and it's going to take you a little bit to get out of it. But start where you are, make good financial decisions, plan, don't waste. And like Lisa said, see where you can save money so that you can put it into the things that are important so you can grow and invest and do all of the things that you need to do. Let's see if Lisa has some other thoughts before we move on to point three.
No, I had something handy, but I seem to have lost it. But I believe it was over the last 6 years, the dollar has lost about 30% of its buying power. Um, and so I'm bringing that up because, like I was mentioning, with increased costs with groceries and all those different things, all of the very basic essential items that our households are needing. So we have to realize we can't be just holding on to cash. In my opinion, not financial advice, but holding on to cash for the last 6 years, it would have decreased in value. And the interest rates that we're getting on our high yield savings account, money market account, it's not giving us that growth that we will get obtained by being invested. So I'm just pointing this out because we have to make our money really, we have to really get our dollars out there and working as hard as possible. And even if you want to keep it a little bit basic and simple and focus on the S&P 500, for example, I'm encouraging you to just think about these things. Look up the statistics for yourself and realize that our buying power is not what it was, and what are the next 6 years going to hold if the past 6 years have decreased the value of the dollar so much. So
Great thoughts, Lisa. Thank you. And we're going into the next point. Now, this one is the one where I'm kind of, this is the area that I love the most. And It's trend number three. Real estate is entering a new era. And I will say this: real estate has long been viewed as a path to building wealth, but the market continues to evolve. Affordability challenges, demographic shifts, remote work, regional migration patterns, they have all influenced housing demand. And while owning a home can be rewarding, but it's not the only path to financial success. Buying may make sense for some households, but renting may be the better choice for others, depending on their finances, career plans, and local housing markets. So, for real estate investors, you have to make a careful analysis, and it's important more than ever because you have to focus on the cash flow, the maintenance costs, property taxes, insurance, vacancy risk. So, how are all of these factors going to affect your long term returns? Lisa, do you have any thoughts on this of the real estate entering a new era?
Um, I think that some people are just enthusiastic to get into certain things, and you always have to make sure that the math works. I don't want you to be in any situation where you're waiting un, for an undefinite, undetermined amount in order to be in a place where you're profitable. You have to make sure that whatever situation you're putting yourself in, whatever deal you're locking yourself into, is going to have you on track for your goals. Um, and so you got to make sure that math works, and that's what matters. You have to make the right deal so that I couldn't get into a deal where I'm waiting and don't know when things are going to turn around. You just have to have a plan for yourself. And like you said, I think that it definitely is okay. There's not a one size fit all thing when it comes to investing real estate or any of the things that we're talking about. So you have to take into consideration where you live, especially when it comes to real estate. Do you live in the tri-state area? Do you live in a big bustling city where the expenses are going to be higher? Or do you live in more of a rural area that there are some lower cost opportunities? It's never a one size fit all thing. So just put the work into finding the right fit for you. And if you are making a move to a different state, or don't you're trying to compare yourself to someone else, you really get the details because everyone's circumstances are drastically different. So those are my thoughts on that.
Yes, great takeaway, Lisa. My key takeaway is don't buy property because everyone else says it's a great investment, because the numbers support your goals. So you have to think, am I going to be making money or am I going to be losing money? That's what we really have to think about. So think about it, see what works best for you, and if it's adding up. Now we're on trend number four. Hold on a second.
And can I touch on one more
Go ahead.
thing?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not a big REIT investor, which is real estate investment trusts. But there are even investments that can give you exposure to um, different areas. It could be, data centers, or it could be like Realty Income is one of my investments that I do hold in my portfolio, and they have different properties like the CVS and the BJ's and things like that. So there are ways to get your hands into real estate without being a landlord like I am, because that is definitely not a form of passive income. It could be very stressful when you have an empty door, when your tenants are giving trouble, getting a new tenant in there and making sure that they are reliable, dealing with repairs and all those things. So it's definitely not something that I look at as passive income, but there are other ways by just investing into something like that, into a REIT, that you can also get exposure real estate in your overall investments.
Great takeaway, Lisa. Thank you so much for those thoughts. We're going to go into the next point, and the next point is investing. And this is not my lane. This is Lisa's lane. So I'm going to share a little bit of my thoughts, but then I'm going to give it over to Lisa because this is not my lane. I don't, I stay in my lane. So trend four is investing requires discipline and not drama. So every market cycle produces headlines that encourage emotional decisions. Like one day, the market is supposedly unstoppable, the next day, everything is crashing. But successful investors often follow a different approach. They focus on long term goals instead of daily headlines, and they diversify across different assets. They contribute consistently over time. They understand the volatility is an important and normal part of investing, and that no guaranteed to perform well. Every investment involves risk. So the most important thing about this trend four is it requires us to be disciplined and not to be into the drama. Pay attention to if something is working. Is it making you money? Are you losing? You can't just invest and just leave it alone. You have to have your ear to the ground and see what is going on. That's my thoughts. I'm not the investment person, so I'm going to give this to Lisa and make her give her thoughts.
I think there needs to always be clarity on what is investing and what is trading, because newer investors or some people, as they're hearing about the stock market, what's going through their mind is trading. It's not investing. And I am like 95% investor, maybe 5% trader, just to give you a picture there. And so I got started investing through my 401k at my employer. And so with that, and I think most of us, this is how we get started investing. With that, every paycheck, money came out, it went to the brokerage company, and it went into usually a target date fund, mutual funds, something like that. Something that is, steady, diversified, will rebalance for you, has all of those different aspects. Now, if you work somewhere where that's not built in for you, now that's when you have to take the more hands-on approach of, I'm going to open a Roth IRA. I'm going to have to make my own investment choices. But I don't want anyone to not get started investing as soon as possible. It's like I was saying earlier, it's 2026. There's technology when it comes to our investments. There are brokerage companies that are not charging any crazy fees. Lots don't charge any fees. And so we have to be ready for that. And then on top of planning for retirement, you can also, a lot of people I know, especially if they're younger, I encourage them to also open a taxable brokerage account, because once your investments are set into your retirement account, whether it's through your employer's 401k, 403b, your TSP, whatever it is, or you open your own Roth IRA, I don't want you to touch it until you are true retirement age, 59 and a half plus, maybe 67 or so. When you're starting to take your Social Security, you start to tap into your investments at the time when you're truly stopping, working on a daily. But I say all that to say that you can do it all. You can have a taxable brokerage account where you're investing in a responsible way, but able to get your money on track to grow and be able to battle inflation. Like I was mentioning, how the value of our dollars are are have gone down so much in just a 6 year time span. So we have to have our money working for us for potentially early retirement, which I know Marlene is striving for, or our true retirement age is always my top priority. I want to bring the kids along with us on this journey because, college, getting started, the housing costs, like we were just talking about in our last point, so drastically different than it was 20 years ago. If today was my starting point, I don't know how I would be able to purchase the home that I'm sitting in right now. The costs, you many areas you have to be earning six figures to basically, I wouldn't even say live comfortably, to get by. The cost is so extreme right now. So uh, I just want to give some encouragement and just say, just be consistent. Like I was touching on at the beginning, when it comes out of your check and it's your 401k, usually that gives the simplicity of being able to keep on track with it. And that's how I was, for many years. That's all I did was just contribute through my check into my retirement account. But now that I'm more hands on with it, I can give a different perspective. And I want to be able to talk about that part of it too, because for those of us that don't have that type of job, you might be, or you could be even, an independent entrepreneur, a stay-at-home mom, whatever your circumstances are. I want everyone to be investing. So there are ways, there's a fit for everyone to be investing and making their money grow. And I think that everyone should definitely prioritize having an account designated and not tapped into under any circumstances that is set aside for our true retirement age. So those are my thoughts, and it's not hard. It's not hard. So I don't. If anyone out there feels that it is hard, is having any particular obstacle, I hope that I can be here to help you to get past it and show you that there is a way. There is a way, and it is a great opportunity for everyone because it it's even easier than getting into real estate. It's easier than, opening a restaurant or something like that. We all have our different dreams and ways about investing, but stock market investing, I think, is an overall good fit and way that many people can more easily get in their money growing in a different way for them. A lot of entrepreneurs are not successful, or it takes them many years to get to that point. So it can also be paired with something else that you're doing as far as your finances, even if it is just a basic ETF or mutual funds. In time, it really can grow. I know I'm up like 60% on just investing into the S&P 500 for a few years. So
Great thoughts, Lisa. Thank you so much. And my takeaway from this is I want to leave you guys with these questions. Do I understand the risks? Would I still feel comfortable owning it if prices decline temporarily? That's what I want you guys to think about when it comes to investing. Would you still feel comfortable owning it if prices decline temporarily? Because these questions can help you to make more thoughtful decisions. I'm going to take a moment. Hold on. Look at my comment section. Hi, Tasharia. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Friday. So let's get into the last point. We're on point number 5. And point number 5 is trend 5. Multiple income streams are becoming more common. Or what does that mean? It means for many households, relying on one paycheck feels increasingly uncertain. That's one reason more people are exploring additional income sources, and these might include freelancing, consulting, dividend paying investments, rental income, online businesses, digital products, teaching specialized skills. Not every idea works for every person, and building a second income usually takes time and effort, but the goal isn't to work around the clock. The goal is to create flexibility, and additional income can help fund investments, accelerate debt repayment, build emergency savings, or just simply reduce financial stress. So that, for me, this is the important part, especially in this economy. One paycheck is just not going to do it anymore. You have to diversify. Lisa, your thoughts?
I agree. I agree. Yeah, we have to. Many people are making their money stretch. I know my daughter, she has a part-time job at a restaurant one town over from us. And she was talking to me about her coworkers, and she said one of her coworkers is a teacher. And I guess she plans on continuing there once school starts back up. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what she teaches or, in what capacity. But many of her coworkers, it's strictly her part-time job because she's still young, she's a student. But many of her coworkers that are older, this part-time job is in addition to a full-time job. They're coming there and doing a couple of evenings and weekends, and so that really shows me that yeah, people are out here incorporating these side hustles, whether it's that. Definitely around my town, I constantly see people doing, DoorDash, Uber Eats. I've talked to friends that say that they sometimes do the I'm not sure what it's called, when you do the grocery shopping and drop off the groceries for the people. Those type of things, a lot of people are incorporating those with full-time jobs that are totally in a different lane, but they want to make a little bit of extra money, and so those are type of things that they're adding in as those side hustles. For me, I have a family member that has a business, and I'm able to contribute by supporting to another family member's business. I also support others with where I can with property management. So I'm pretty much the property manager for the properties that I own myself, but other people that might want to just, outsource a little bit of that to me, I'm able to do that if they don't want to have to deal with the lawn guy and the snow removal. And so, yeah, those are some of the ways that I kind of incorporate little extra side hustles into earning me additional income. And then, another way is by being here on YouTube, on different social media platforms, and sharing my journey. And so I have channel membership and things like that. And so yeah, I all those streams of income are all helpful on being able to just give yourself a little bit of extra added buffer, add to your emergency savings, and just have yourself on track for the future. So it is important, and I don't ever want to be just dependent on one source of income and using every last bit of it, paycheck to paycheck kind of a cycle. So it's good to have some flexibility built in there.
Yeah, that's what we have to do. It's about flexibility, and you're so right, Lisa. And it doesn't matter our age, whether you're a young person, maybe in high school, just finished high school and college, all the way up to when you get older. Things can shift. Things are more expensive now. So those who have been fully retired now have had to find themselves getting back in doing things like DoorDash and Uber Eats and Uber and things like that in order to bring in income into the household. Things are expensive, but the most important thing, the takeaway of this, for the 2026 money reset, is looking for what could help you to grow, to learn something new. Like we started off talking about the AI, and we talked about, real estate and investing. You have to look what works for you, because it's no one size fits all for any of us. Maybe one thing will help you and another thing is not your cup of tea. That's okay. But me and Lisa, we talk about these financial things, and not just me and Lisa, but also Daryl and Rod and many other people. And we give our advice of the things that we have been through, the things that we have grown, the things that we think are good, because we want you to benefit, because there's no excuse. There's no reason why we shouldn't improve our financial situation. There's so many things that we can learn from other people, reading and social media and etc., so that you can be in a better financial situation.
Financial success, it may come through many small steps. So I know we often want that big win, just like I was talking about investing versus trading. But, being steady and consistent and making those thoughtful moves that are not risky, there are ways in order to gain success in that way also. Now, those people that go ahead and just want to be more of that gambler mentality, they may win, but most likely they will have lots of setbacks on that if that's the way that they're going about it. So just realize that you are a future millionaire. You can find financial success, and I want you to really think about where you're at and set some goals for yourself, and know that you have that potential. Be confident, be driven, and push yourself into situations, into communities where you're going to get the encouragement and be into these conversations so that you can be on track, because our futures can be so much better. It just depends on us putting in the work as soon as possible, staying invested and making our money grow.
Yes, I so agree with you. So let's wrap this trend 5 up. The goal isn't to work around the clock. The goal is to create flexibility, additional income, to help fund investments, debt repayment, build emergency savings, or simply reduce financial stress. Even modest amounts invested consistently can add up to making money over many years. And I think that is so important. If we just have one final thoughts and takeaway, this is it. I hope you take away from today's episode this: financial success is rarely about finding the perfect investment or making one brilliant decision. More often, it's the result of consistently making thoughtful choices over time. Stay curious, continue learning, spend intentionally, invest with a long term perspective. Manage debt carefully. Develop skills that remain valuable as technology evolves. And remember that your financial plan should reflect your own goals, values, and circumstances, not someone else's social media highlight reel. So, this is a great topic, and I really enjoyed it. And I want to hear Lisa's final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up.
Great topic today, Marlene. I just want to encourage everyone to know that you can start small, start where you're at. Don't let anything hold you back. Um, whether no, it doesn't matter what stage you're at. If you're in debt pay down mode. Put an extra $10, $20 towards your debt. Don't ever think that any amount is too small when it comes to paying down your debt or investing. Brokerages, again, it's 2026. We have so much flexibility. I've done investment challenges where I was investing $5 and $10 on a consistent basis. And so just make sure you're planning, making those adjustments to your budget in order to get every dollar really getting to what will be most impactful towards what you are currently working on, and so that you can make sure you're achieving your goals. And I think that's it for today on my closing thoughts, Marlene.
Awesome. That was amazing, Lisa. Thank you so much for being here. And everybody who tapped in. Until the next time, keep learning, keep investing in yourself, and keep making decisions that move you closer to the future you want. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode. Next time it's going to be on the J Sucks channel. That's going to be in 2 weeks. So thank you guys, and I'm going to end with the channel song. Bye everybody. See you on the next one.
Got a spark inside, a passion so true. Marlene motivates, it's the right move for you. Her purpose is clear, her heart's a guiding light to help you reach higher ground, so everything is bright. It's encouragement, support from her soul to yours, for the wellness of mind, body and spirit, so you can open new doors through pop-up lives and motivational roles too. Regular videos, Marlene is always there for you. Feeling down, feeling lost, need a helping hand, Marlene is here to inspire across the digital land, sharing her journey, her wisdom, her grace, helping you find your own pace and true place. It's encouragement, support from her soul to yours, for the wellness of mind, body and spirit, so you can open new doors through pop-up lives and all of these and all right too. Regular videos, Marlene is always there for you. Be encouraged, let your spirit ignite. Be inspired, step into your light. Be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it and live your best life. My body and spirit, every day. Live for pride. Regular video, Marlene is always there for you. Marlene motivates, yeah. Mind, body, spirit, every day.
And guys, make sure you go by and you check out Lisa's channel. I believe she's going live this Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Time.
spark inside, a passion so true. Marlene motivates, is the right move for you.